Let's say that again. Okay, good morning, everybody. This is Mindful Movement with Chris Kissel every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, 6 a.m. my time. Today we're going to focus on our abdominals and our hip flexors. What we do with this class is we pick an area of the body that we're going to put our mind into. We're going to teach it how to coordinate itself with our body movements. So in everyday life, you can have the muscles available to you that do that particular move. So what I want you to do is today I want to put your mind in your abdominals right here. I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit so you can see me better. But you're going to put your mind in your abdominals and the hip flexors. However, we are going to start off by loosening up our spine because right here we all just got out of bed if you're doing this live time with me. And we've got fluids that run up and down our spine. And these fluids need to get back in their proper place because as you sleep, they'll shift to one side of your spine or the other. And these are the cushy stuff that lays in between the joints. So let's get on hands and knees. Enough about that. Let's just do it. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up that spine. We're going to get the juices flowing in that spine. And we're just going to start off with our cat-cow. And when we do, we're going to drop our chin to our chest and we're going to pull our navel up to our spine. Now, these are the muscles we're going to be working in a minute. So we'll start working them now. Pull that navel up to your spine here. So it's like it's got a string on it. It's pulling it up to the ceiling. But I want you to do this with your chin dropped to your chest. Reason being that your neck has to be rounded in the same direction your low back is rounding. So all these moves we're going to do today are going to be very helpful when you go to pick something up off the floor, all right? So go ahead and pull that navel up to your spine. We're very intentional about this move today. And now I want you can have your toes curled at this point or flattened. I'm going to flatten my feet. I want you to just let your belly hang and lift your chin. So just let that belly go. That's the only time in this class you're pretty much going to be able to do that. So let that belly go. And as you do, I want you to think of your tailbone shooting up towards the sky. So try to shoot that tailbone towards the sky and have your gaze look where the ceiling and the top of the wall meet. Hold it there. Just relax the belly at this point. So now we're going to change it back up. We're going to pull the belly in. We're tucking our tailbone under. So think of starting with your tailbone. You're tucking your tailbone under. You're pulling your navel to your spine. You're bringing your chin to your chest. And now we've got a nice rounded spine. Your shoulder blades are pulling open. Your hands are pushing down into the floor. And one more time, let's change that up. So relax your belly, then lift your chin. So we'll start at the head. And we're going to look up towards the ceiling. And as we do, our spine is going to drop towards the floor and our tailbone is going to tilt up. So let's go to what we call neutral spine. So we're here in neutral spine. We're in tabletop, neutral spine and tabletop. Pull your navel into your spine right now, but just keep it flat. We're not pushing it up to the ceiling. Go ahead and curl your toes under. And all we're going to do here is slightly lift our knees off the mat. So I want you to hover above your mat. So lift your knees off the mat, and that's going to put the strength that we need into our core. Pull your navel into your spine. Very important for this. You should feel this in your thighs. You should feel this in your belly. And you're just keeping neutral spine. So your head's in line with your spine. You're just looking straight down at the floor. You're not tilted. We've got a flat back. And let's lower our knees down. Nice job. Get just a little preview of the engagement of the core, okay? Flatten your feet. We're going to round our spine again up to the ceiling. And you're going to push back your hips towards your heels as you stay in that rounded position. Now we're opening up all those spaces between our vertebrae and our spine. Once you get as far back as you can go, bring your elbows to the floor. Now this is where you let the belly go and you lift the chin. And we're going to slide our chest up like a cobra. Keep it as close to the floor as you can. Slide it up through your hands and come back to start. All right, let's get going. I forgot to mention, you need a yoga block or a throw pillow or something just to place gently between your knees for some of these moves. So go ahead and grab that right now. We're going to switch over to our back side. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that block or pillow, put it between our knees. And from here, we're going to roll our spine down to the floor. So you're pulling your navel into the spine. You're using it. You're contracting these muscles. We're putting our mind in these muscles. I want you slow as you can. Roll down to the floor. Chin is tucked into your chest. Once you're there, just flatten that out to the floor and just give it an ah. All right. So we're going to have our feet flat on the floor. And we're going to have our block between our knees. We're not going to have a death grip on this block, but we're just going to be able to hold it there. And that's going to engage the inside of your leg, the adductor muscles. Excuse me. So we're going to learn how to give it some neural input to these lower abdominal muscles. First thing, to get these going, firing with our brain and our abdominals. So what I want you to do is take your right hand and place it on your belly button. Take your left palm and put it on the floor. So how we get our palm suction cupped to the floor is we're going to put our hand on the floor, lift your fingers off the floor, push your palm into the floor, and then gently let your fingers just plop on the floor. You've got a nice engagement with the palm. That's going to create some connection between your mind and your muscle. So you're going to walk your fingertips down to your pubic bone. There's a ridge there, right where that pubic bone starts. Once you find that ridge, I want you to walk it over to the right side. Okay, so we're over towards the right side of that pubic ridge. And from here, I want you to pull your chin to your chest so you're gazing at the top of your knees. And now here's where the magic happens. I want you to pull your navel into your spine and feel that pubic bone just slightly tilt up towards your fingers, going towards your nose. Pulling your navel down to the floor, and we're engaging these abdominals right here, but we're putting a big focus. I'm sorry, our fingers should have been over to the left side. We're putting a big focus on this left quadrant of these abdominals. So hold that tight. We're going to hold it for a long 6 seconds and then release it. So I want you to release it for that same 6 seconds. That's kind of like the magic number to gain some neural input. All right, so go ahead and lift your fingers off the floor and then put them back down. So you got your palm there and you have your fingertips over on the left side of that pubic bone. I want you to pull your navel into your spine, looking at the top of your knees. Your chin is tucked to your chest. And it is a subtle move. You're not trying to lift your hips up off the floor. We're just shortening this muscle right here. Shortening this muscle. That's how it contracts. And that's going to give us really good posture from our lower back up. And release it. Okay, let's switch hands. So I'll get it right this time. You're going to take your right palm, put it on the floor, lift the fingertips, let the fingertips gently go to the floor. Take your left hand and walk it down to your pubic bone, then walk it over to the right side and just put your feelers right there so you can feel that slightly move when it starts to work. So from here, I want you to pull your navel into your spine, gently gaze to the top of your knees, your chin is tucked into your chest, and you're just moving this very lower quadrant of the abdominals that are attached to the tip of this pubic bone. So go ahead and pull that in. Pull it in tight. Nice and tight. Keep holding. And then we're going to let it go for the same amount of time. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do it again. Navel goes to the spine, chin goes to the chest, gaze at the top of the knees. Pull in, get that just gentle tilt of the pubic bone. Keep holding it, keep holding it. There you go. Keep holding it. Okay, release. All right, so we know how to engage that area of the body. We're going to use it as we slide our rib cage towards our hip bones. So we're going to use some of the muscles right up through here, and we're going to be shortening them. And when we shorten the muscles, we strengthen them, right? So you're going to put both hands down by the floor. You're going to keep the pelvic block in between your knees. And what I want you to do now is tilt your chin to your chest, but then lift your head, neck, and shoulders up off the floor as high as you're comfortable. You don't go overboard on this. You're going to stay at that level. So we're not going to be reaching up and curling. We're going to be gliding the rib cage towards the hip bones. So while you're here, I want you to think of reaching your hands, your fingertips towards your heels, and then coming back. So you're gliding that rib cage towards your hips right there. So this is shortening right here. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. So your shoulders come up, but then they stay at that level. They don't go up any higher. We're moving our hands towards our feet, and we're squeezing and releasing. Okay, take it down. Good job, good job. So now we're going to individually work on these hip flexors so we can get rid of the yoga block for a minute. And what I want you to do is I want you to take your left hand and put it up here, and then bring your left knee as close to your chest as you can get it. Just however close it goes. We're not pulling it in, we're just moving it ourselves. Then take your hand and block that knee. So remember when we had our fingers on that pelvic ridge? This is what's going to tilt up. There's actually a joint in the middle of that pelvic ridge. And we're going to allow it to work one side then the other. So I want you to push your knee into your hand and your hand back into your knee. So you've got a stopping place right here. This is an isometric. As you do that, your pubic bone, especially on the left side, is going to tilt up just like we did before. So go ahead and do that. Push, push, push. Push, push, push. Do not hold your breath. And then just release it and take the leg down. Extend the leg out long. We're going to do it 3 times on this side. So we're engaging this area of the body. And this is what happens when you walk. When you walk, one area is bent up and the other area is straight. So if you want to enhance that further, let's go back into this. Take your right leg and straighten it to the floor. Now bring your left knee up towards your chest as high as you can go. Now, if this is not comfortable, go back to a right bent knee. We're enhancing our walk right here. We're becoming super walkers, super runners, okay? So bring your knee towards your chest. Hand stops it where it goes. And then you're going to push your knee into your hand and your hand into your knee and keep breathing for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it down. Go ahead and lengthen the leg all the way out. And let's bring it back. Bring that knee up toward your chest. See if it's getting closer. It should work its way a little closer each time. So your hand is going to block your knee. You're pushing your knee into your hand, and your hand is a wall, okay? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Now, go ahead and straighten that leg. All right, we got to be even, so let's do the other side. So you can keep this leg long, or you can start with it in this position. We're going to work on the right side. So bring the right knee up to your chest where it can comfortably go, and kind of see where you are, because I think each time you should be getting your knee closer to your chest just naturally. So you're going to create that block with your hand. You're going to push your knee into your hand and your hand into your knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take it down. Go ahead and extend it out long. We're going to get this moving in here, okay? So when you get up and go to bend over, it should feel really good. All right, one more time. Bring your knee to your hand, hand to your knee, and push. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it down, extend it long. Nice. One more time. See how close that knee comes up. Is it looser? Bring it up there. Mine is. Bring your hand. Block your knee. Let's do it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, take it down, stretch it long. Let's take this opportunity to bring our arms over our head and just get a nice reach from your hands to your feet. Reach your body long, reach it long. All right, so let's bring it up, and we are going to, we're going to do this. So what I want you to do is I want you to keep both knees are bent. I want you to take your left leg and just flop it out to the side, okay? Take your hands, put them on the floor to steady yourself. So our hands are going to help us this time. Now from here, I want you to take that left leg and just straighten it out. So it's going out to the side. And the inside of your foot should be pointing towards the ceiling. So now if this is too much for you, you can bring it in a little closer to your body, but we do want an angle here out to the side. I want you to try to focus so your whole back body is on the floor and you're not leaning over because you're to the side. So if you're leaning a lot, I want you to bring that leg closer to midline. All right, so what you're going to do here is you're going to think of the inside of the leg coming up. We're working our iliopsoas muscle, this deep muscle that runs from our spine into the top of our leg. So go ahead and flex your foot, and you're just going to bring your leg up at that angle. And then bring it down. Pull your navel into your spine, bring it up, and take it down. So my leg is slightly angled away from my body, up and down, up and down. So try not to shift over to that side. You're going to hold yourself flat on the floor. Just go where your body allows to stay flat on the floor. It can be a mini move. You could be doing this. All right, but we're working this deep abdominal muscle. Up and down. All right, let's bring it in. So let's compare sides. We're going to try that on the other side. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep this leg bent. We're going to drop the right leg out to the side where it's comfortable. Don't push it out, but where it's comfortable. I better switch around for you guys. So where it's comfortable, you're going to drop it out. You're going to extend your leg out long. So you've got this angle, and you're coming back to midline, but you're keeping that angle. Arms are down by the floor to help you stabilize yourself. Pull your stomach in really tight and kind of lift that leg back up towards your body. So your hip is open and turned out. You're lifting from here, right here, all the way up to here. Good job. Doesn't have to be a big move. Lift. And lift. All right, bring it in. That was your iliopsoas muscle, or more commonly known as your psoas muscle. And now we're going to work our iliacus. So our iliacus is also a hip flexor, and it runs behind this hip bone back into the top of the leg where the other muscle was. So what you're going to do here is you're going to straighten the right leg out, turn it open just like we had before, where it can comfortably go. Your arms are down by your side to kind of keep you stable on the floor. Pull your navel into your spine and lift that leg straight up towards you. and down, but we do have the leg turned out. So we're emphasizing this iliacus muscle that runs right here, up and down, up and down, up and down. Good job. Let's switch sides, okay? Taking the time here. All right, you're turning your left leg out, and I want you to bring it straight up and down. So where our left leg is turned out, but we're coming straight up and down in line with our body. Bring it up and down and up and down and up and down. All right. So from here, let's go back to the abdominals. We're going to do some dead bugs. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our arms straight up from our shoulders. We're going to bring our knees straight up from our hips. And we're going to alternate hands and legs, work them alternately together. So you're going to be taking your right arm back and your left leg down to the floor. What I want you to be mindful of is you're going to keep that same bend at the knee. To get the foot to the floor, you're not going to bend the foot more and tap it down. You keep that same bend. So let's bring our arms up. And I want you to take your right arm back and tap your left toe to the floor, holding your spine onto the floor here. Let's do that same move again. Right arm back, left toe taps, bring it back up. Do it again. Right arm back, left toe taps, bring it back up. So we're holding strong. We're holding strong in all those abdominal muscles right now. So let's switch sides. Let's take our left arm back and our right toe down. Come back to the center. Left arm back, right toe down. Come back to the center. Now you might find one side's a little harder than the other. Tap and bring it to the center. Okay, so let's bring our arms down to the side. And what we're going to do is just a few more taps. So I want you to take your right leg and I want you to flex your foot and just tap your heel now. Tap and bring it up. Now take the other side. Tap and bring it up. Remember, this is mindful movement. I want you to think about where this is working from. We're taking it slow. We're also taking the momentum out of this. We're letting the muscle work in its longest form and taking it back to its shortest form, creating some really good integrity in those muscles so they're ready to fire when you need it. When you go to bend forward, when we get up. And let's do one more tap. All right. So we've got those hip flexors kind of fired up. Let's go ahead and sit up and give them a nice little active stretch. So go ahead and sit up. And we're going to go ahead and be in a nice cross-legged position for a minute and just roll around. Just roll around. Yeah, and reverse that roll. Good job. Okay, so so you're long ways on your mat is horizontal, and this is just a good gauge to line your knees up. So from here, we're going to take our knees and we're going to put them towards the edge of our mat right here. So they're in line with each other. One foot's back, the other knee's forward. So my left knee is forward. I'm going to take my left hand behind me and I'm going to push myself up to my knees. But what I want you to be mindful is have a really great space between your ear and your shoulder. Don't scrunch it down as you do this because we're going to be strong in this move. So push up to your knees. All right, now to get this open up to its maximum potential, you've got to squeeze this back side. That's going to tell it, oh yeah, we got something here. You can open up. So squeeze that back side, squeeze that glute, push that hip forward by squeezing the glute. There you go, there you go. Now you can bring your arm up in the air and let's do some half circles, just back and forth. Get some movement through those shoulders. Gotta get the blood flowing throughout the whole body. And you're still pushing this forward. And let's take it down. The other side really wants to do that. So switch your legs around. Knees are at the top of the mat. We're going to keep that great space right here between the shoulder and the ear. And you're pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. And how are you getting this to open? You're squeezing this backside. Squeeze it. Put your mind back there. Squeeze it. This will naturally open. And the blood will be flowing through this area that we just contracted and expanded. Bring your arm up, reach up, reach up, reach up. And let's do some rainbows with our arm. Paint some rainbows for your day today, okay? It's going to be a great day. Back and forth. Back and forth. Keep squeezing. Keep squeezing. Take it down. All right. Good job. Thanks for joining me this morning. And I hope you can bend forward with ease today.